Welcome to iUnify.
Yes.
We are here on episode 10, and we are going to tackle an interesting conversation, which we have talked about here and there through different stories. We've talked about homosexuality. And we're going to tackle some deep questions in it, though, because I have serious questions. I have thoughts. I have thoughts already. We have heard my thoughts multiple times on this podcast when it comes to this subject for women. Anyway, however, I have family members. Not this lady. I'm not talking about. But I do have other family members that I constantly be joking on all the time because I do feel like some of it is slick delusion. However, well, I'm going to talk about that question later. We're going to start with one of the main questions. Do you think that you were born like this?
No. Now, here I am. I'm going to tell you that is a such thing. So, first of all, if you do interchange spirits and sex. Mm-hmm. So when you have couples, whether they're married, whatever it is going through, I believe you're interchanging passing spirits with your children and each other. So when you're impregnated and carrying children, they are carrying these spirits or demons, whichever it is that you have, because this is real. Your child, what you carrying, are carrying them. So I do believe that you can be born with a perverted spirit. Mm-hmm. But perversion is very broad. So it's a lot of branches to it. So homosexuality is just a branch to a very large spirit.
Right.
So I do believe you can be born with the spirit. But to say that someone was born gay, like that is to say God made a mistake. So there's never no mistakes with God. There's no mistakes. So,
I have thoughts about this. Go ahead.
However weird you may be, because you can be weird, but you weren't born gay. So that is a learned. You may have a spirit that you fed, but to be gay is it's a learned behavior. It's I was introduced to sex within itself very young. So I'm not talking about the molestations or the abuse or nothing like that. I am talking about simply myself, just me. Mm-hmm. Parents are neglectful when it comes to children, so they leave their personal life kind of open, and kids are inquisitive and they do find your stuff, wherever you think you hiding them. So I found my parents' things. Ooh. I was very...
Hold on. I'm sorry. I can't think about that.
Let me be clear on what I'm finding. Not my parents, because in my day, it wasn't no sex tapes.
Okay.
I'm pushing 60. So it ain't no sex tapes in my day. But I'm talking about the dirty magazines. Okay, so I'm going to tell you how far back when, even as a kid, dirty magazine was like an Enquirer. You know how the Enquirer is? It's a paper.
Yeah.
That's how the dirty magazines was back in my day. So my dad, of course, he had his dirty papers under his mattress. I knew where they were. I looked at them all the time. So I myself, personally, I have an inquisitive nature. Mm-hmm. So this is what I've done. And not only did I look at them, but I threw them off the roof of our house.
What in the world?
I'm a kid. This is
What?
stupid. I don't know. This is what I done. Me and my sister used to
Much for
play
my
on the
mind.
roof, and I just throwing them off the roof, throwing the pages off the roof. But I was I was introduced to these things quite early, so my self-awareness. I was very self-aware, very young. So I explored, and I didn't start out gay. You know what I mean? At least I didn't put a title that I'm gay, because I wasn't. I was just trying a whole bunch of stuff. I'm just doing this and doing this person and trying this with this person, you know. But as a kid, I tried. I really tried. No, I really did. But I heard this comedian say, she's gay. She said she was like, she first started out with penis, and she said she was like, well, maybe I'm not doing it right.
What in the world?
But that's how I felt. I felt like maybe I'm not doing it right. So I mean, I did it over a lot. I did it a lot. Young. Outside of the molestation and all of that. So by the time I'm a young teenager, 16, 17.
You do realize
What?
I was supposed to respond to the born with it part before you just went on with life.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So you just-
No, I do not believe that
I
you are
do.
born gay.
Actually, I'm gonna tell you why. I know.
What?
Oh, what? Chastity is so saved. Chastity believe this. Yes, because the Bible specifically say we are born and shaped in. We are born in sin and shaped in iniquity. It didn't say what sin. It didn't say what iniquity. You can very well be born with that gay spirit just
Well,
so
yes,
easily.
I do believe that you can be born with a spirit, but
Because some
to
things
say
just
God
come
made
natural.
you gay,
Not God made me gay. You were just born in the flesh. Your flesh could be an addict. Your flesh could be anything. A thief, a murderer, a psychopath, a serial killer. It could be all kinds of things.
what true? I mean, I can't say that's untrue.
Because the change, okay, how I look at it is we're born with whatever we're born with. And the change doesn't happen until we're born again.
Right,
And
that's true.
that's I don't know. That's my thoughts. Cause I do feel like I was just no. I'm not. Hold on. Let's clarify some things. I am not gay. However, I do think some things, like I always talk about, just came natural to me.
I think all girls are gay.
Yeah. I'm not trying to agree with you because I am a married woman, but I do feel like some things just was natural. So I don't even know that it's wrong. I still kind of slick don't know that it's wrong. Even in trying to find it in the Bible, it actually is not one time in the Bible that it talks about female being gay. It only
it's
talks
not
about the male.
Right. No, I do talk about females
Where?
being gay. It's in there, but it's not in there where there is like it's a law or something that goes with it.
The only
So,
thing
no, it's
that
just a
was
story.
like a whole abomination was the men being,
Right. Yeah, I do agree. Because men are made in God's image.
yeah.
And we are made in help meet, which is a whole different podcast.
Yeah.
But the what we are made for is like trying to tell a car don't drive.
Right.
So because of what we're made for. Now I'm not saying that I'm a female sexist and believe, because I definitely don't believe that. But because of it's part of our nature of who we are, I know it's definitely in there. So to tell a car don't drive or don't back up. Now backing up is not the whole totality of a car, but it's definitely part
Yeah,
of
it's a
the
part of
car's
it.
make.
Right.
So you can't take the reverse out the car and still let it and call it a full functioning car.
Right.
So this is how I feel about sexuality in a whole when it comes to a woman. We are more free as a woman, and actually, the loving our one husband. Well, that's another subject. Go back. It's just like part of the curse and stuff like that. But you can read for yourself. I ain't trying to go there. So I think we are made and designed to be free.
But I still think it's all for the pleasures of your husband.
Well, true. I do agree with that. I do agree with that. It is all for him. You know, now,
Even though we just don't. I mean, most of the people that believe like me do not do it for the pleasures of their husband. So we just out here still sinning. But yes.
well, yeah, I don't think there was a lane made for that. I just
Right.
think it's just there.
Right.
So I don't think like God made a plan like, yeah, it's cool for the girls to sleep with each other, but not the men.
That's why I said it's not. I don't think it had to be. I don't think it had to be a plan because it's just something that
Right, it's just
naturally.
something that's there.
Yeah.
Right. So when it's so and actually because we got a bunch of niggas, but not a lot of men. So with the
jeez.
way the world is going today, because we
Steal my
are
drink.
free and we can just do it with each other, it's just so much better. Without the, sometimes it all depends. It's just
What?
some things. Well, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was married once. I do not desire ever to be married again. And I think it's better. So that's my preference. So if it was left up to me,
But
my
here's the
choice.
thing. I don't believe that to be so.
What? No, you got to be kidding.
No, I think you created this. I did. I'm gonna tell you why. Because you do respond to men in a certain way,
I do.
and if that right perfect one that just I feel like gonna have to really be really that dude.
Yeah.
But I do feel like if they come and the Lord say yes.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
some things got to completely change. But
No, it don't. That is
yes,
not true.
it does.
I want you to know I live a whole married life and things did not change with me.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm saying
No, I'm
things
talking
gotta
about as
change
far
for
as
me.
I'm
It
talking.
has to change. 'Cause
No.
it's just not there, and I think that's gonna be unfair to him.
Oh Lord, it's so stressful. Okay, what I'm saying is I am a very dominant person. A lot of people, talk about my masculinity or whatever, but I am very masculine in my relationship, and it's like that for a reason. Because it's my natural self is like that nigga, and
But is he
but
above you or beneath you?
who?
Your husband.
He's above me, but that's because
Okay.
I allow
I
it
feel
to
you.
be.
Yes.
Because my natural self is really the more dominant person in every friendships, any sort of relationship. I'm always the dominant person. It's naturally that way. That's why I
I
said
have a
I
question.
do feel like
I definitely got a question.
I feel like if the right man came, you'd be able to do the same thing. But go ahead.
So, in your allowance that you give to him to be above you, your allowance has to.
I mean, he take. Hold on. Ray, hold on. We still talk about King Kong, So he is definitely gonna take his place because
he's definitely a man.
he's a man.
Right.
But I am able to sit down.
Okay, I get what you're saying. So, like, when it came to me and my husband when I was married, I am very capable and very dominant, all across the board. But when in my married life, when I'm at home, when I went home, my husband definitely was a head. I allowed him to be head. I did what he said in my submitted petition. Now you got to know my story. If you don't know my story, go back and listen to the podcast. But and there was a point in time when I'm being a wife that when I sit down, I let him, tell me I do submit to a degree, and my degree was anything beyond God. And so when you get stupid with God, then you lost me.
Right.
I'm only ordered or expected, required to follow you as you follow Christ.
Right.
If you're not following Christ,
Amen.
you on your own. You just out there. I'm over here.
Right.
Where Christ is. But in my home with my husband, I allowed him to be my husband because that's important for a man. So
Right.
you can't take that
So
from
you
me.
can do it.
Yeah, but can do it and wanting to do it are two
But you
different
would want to do
things.
it for the right man. Is why
Nah,
I'm telling you,
I
if the right
never ever, which I think is so important, that is not one time in my marriage where I ever sexually desired my husband. Never once.
why?
Really?
I mean, well, he was old.
Well,
That was
yeah, but
different. So I
okay. Well,
mean,
let's not use my
what about your
husband.
boy, the one you
I
like?
never, ever, I wanted to. I kept telling myself I did. But the truth is, when I actually got into a situation where I now experiencing wanting, desire, and all of that, I ain't never had none of that for none of them niggas. Not
Wow,
one.
that's
Not
so
one,
weird.
never, ever in my
Well, I
lifetime.
guess I just go both. I mean, well, hold on. Wait.
I've never had a.
I always thought I was like you, but I'm not
Yeah.
like you
Yeah.
because
I've never had
no.
a desire. I've had a moment where I wanted to desire you. And I tried to desire you. I like you so much, I tried to. But I never once. And never real desire. I've never really desired
That is
a
weird.
man.
Maybe they just weren't doing it for you. I mean,
And they didn't. But I'm going to tell you now that I'm older and look back, I do notice one difference. I always ask myself, what is the difference? Because it's not like when I thought it was maybe the traumatization, but no, I was molested by both men and women. So why did I choose?
you are because that part is like because you are a dominant person. I'm telling you, it's the control of the situation. I know this is about to go way too detailed, but the control of the situation with a woman is a whole turn on for a masculine woman.
The women are never trying to control. I told you they're more manipulative.
No, I'm
Right.
speaking of your role in the bed. Okay.
yeah.
In a sexual situation
Yeah.
with a woman, I'm just actually assuming. I really don't know because you've never told me all this nastiness. But I'm assuming that you are the more dominant person.
It
And
all depends on what you mean by dominant.
alone-
Okay.
Well, no, I don't want to know.
Okay.
But-
But you said you was going deep. You don't go deep. Don't
well,
be
okay.
scared now.
Are you? Are you top or bottom?
Okay. Thank you for actually opening the door so I can now answer. I used to hate when people would ask me when I was younger, they would do things like when they would see me and my girlfriend, like, who the man? You
Right.
are, nigga. You the one standing here with, because neither one of us is man. So I hated that question because I wasn't that. I'm not confused.
But that's still not the same thing. Okay. Being the man is not necessarily you are the man. It's just the more dominant
but
person.
in the bed, there is no top or bottom. And in
It
a
is.
lesbian. No, it's not. This is what you don't understand about homosexuality.
Okay. Like I said, I am not that way.
Okay,
However, I've
well, let
had
me break it down a little more deeper.
experiences. And in my experiences, I am more prone to being the dominant person. And that actually is a whole in itself is a turn on.
Yeah, and it's time. But as much as dominant as I am, I'm also just as submissive on the other side.
But I am that way with a man.
I am both
well,
ways with a female. I am
it's
only
both ways really for me with the man, but with the female, it's one way. I don't know why. I mean, maybe
Well,
maybe
because
that's
you're
just
not
me.
gay. You're experiencing a woman.
Okay.
Okay, so that's different. And I, as a lesbian, because they got so many different categories now. But in my day, it wasn't nothing but you either a lesbian, you gay, or you're a butch, dyke. They had a core, hardcore
Those are
like that.
the
So that was it.
mentally
No more alphabets.
unstable people.
There's no more alphabets. They said they do have a section, what you was about to claim as bisexual, but there is, to me, I have never really met a real bisexual.
Why? Why do you say that?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you
I mean,
why.
it's a lot
I'm gonna
of
tell you
people
why
that enjoy
I
both
say
things.
that because it doesn't mean it's true because I said it. This is just my opinion on
Okay.
things, but because most people that I meet that, like, I have done both. There's time I did both, but only preferred one.
Oh, Jesus.
I only preferred one.
My conception.
But because of my lifestyle, I had to do both. But I only preferred one. So in all actuality, I'm really gay. I'm just doing both. But I didn't want both. I only wanted one.
That's interesting.
So, yes. But in a lesbian relationship, far as sex is concerned, in that bed, it's not like a male and female. It's nothing like that. In fact, if you are actually in a quote-unquote gay relationship and your sexual affair is like a male and female, you are not gay.
But that's not what I mean. I don't mean like because
Somebody ain't gay.
I've
Let me put it that
never
way.
done what a man do. Like I don't strap on. I'm sorry, it's just a little weird for me. But it's still a dominance. I don't know how to explain it because I'm not actually doing a male action.
Right. But I understand that. But even in the bedroom, there are days I'm dominant, but there's days she's dominant. There's days she is taking it.
Oh my
And there's
God.
days I'm taking it. And then there's days we are mutual.
It's too much.
We are doing. But my point is, it's not I am classified. This is my title. I'm the dominant one in the
Right.
bedroom. Now I'm dominant. I am a dominant female. So, but I'm dominant with my heels on. Dominant with my dress on.
Right. That's what I mean.
But in the bed, I also have my dress on. I also got my heels on. And there's days that I'm not. I'm submissive. What I mean, still a lady. Whether I'm a dominant lady today or the submissive lady today.
I mean, well, that works for okay. So, since I am not gay, that works for me with the male. It's give or take. That day, depending on the day. But I don't know. I for some weird, strange reason, maybe something's wrong with me. I don't know. But for some weird, strange reason, I do not desire. Maybe that may be something wrong with that, because I don't desire to receive from the woman.
It's nothing. Each to their own.
Weird.
Some people is like that. But
this is such
definitely
a
not
strange
me.
conversation to be having with my mother.
But definitely not me. But I've seen
So
that
what would
around.
that even be considered? I don't even know what that's called.
Well, you would probably be a butch if you was out there. Yeah,
No.
I see studs.
I am not
studs be talking
a-
about they
but
don't
I'm-
want to be touched.
But I'm
stuff
not.
like that.
No, okay, hold on. No, because I'm not like,
Yeah, but you'll grow to that. They don't start out like that
No,
either.
Mom.
I'm talking about if you was out there, you would probably be one of those.
No, I don't think so. I'm still very much girly. I'm way too girly
Yeah,
to
they
be.
all start out the girl. Do you remember when I had an
I
ex?
cannot be baggy pants ish.
I had a stud ex. Well, stud-ish, because she wasn't stud-ish. She was a girl, but too stud for me. I don't do studs. If I wanted a man, I have a real man. I don't have to get a fake man or something halfway like a man. I can have a whole man. Why would I do that? But anyway. She was stud-ish. And she had wore these boss hairstyles. She used to have short cuts. She was girly from the neck up. But from the neck down, she had it's just the way she carried her mannerisms was so dude-ish. And I explained to her because she was trying to come at me. And we would get high together back in the day and stuff. And then, she tried to come at me. But I make this clear. Dude, I don't do boys.
Not dude.
I don't. Because you pimping like a dude. So if you
Lord.
pimping, you carry yourself dude-ish. I'm considering, and back in my day, that's enough to be said dude. And now they going worse. They cutting hair and doing the whole works and transing and all that. But in my day, if you just pimp, you just pimp.
You hold
you
invisible crotches that
you
is
a
not
butch,
there.
right? You a dyke. And
I would never be that. I'm sorry. I hate to break it
just
to you.
nicely said, I don't do boys. I just no, I'm sorry. And she was cute. She was a light bright. And, I don't, light brights are okay. I've had my share. I don't too much care too much for them. No, I'm definitely
I
a
would
black.
just not be so racist. Like,
But I'm not. But I'm just
you
saying
like your
I don't do the
father.
light brights
Oof.
like that.
Your,
I
your
have
father
done
was
them.
really much like
I've
this.
done them, but most light brights are horrible people to me.
God,
If a
you are a
we're in a
friend of a
relationship,
light bright.
she's my friend. She already knows. I tell her this all the time. I tell her this all
Goodness.
the time. But I'm talking about
I
as
mean, I do get it.
yeah,
I
yes.
honestly, no shade, but I do get it because they are very entitled
Yeah.
people.
I just don't like that. It's just because they're
It's too
horrible
much
people.
for my mind,
But besides, if they weren't horrible people, now I have met
especially the
one or
male
two
ones. Oof.
that are humble and actually they don't know how beautiful they are. But some reason, those people they are just once in a lifetime. You meet them, they're not common, but they out there. Every now and then you meet one. But dudes, I prefer light bright. But girls,
Strange.
yeah,
What in the
this is
world?
weird.
It's
Girls,
weird.
I want them black. I want them some color. I need color. But my husband, he was a light bright. But
Yeah.
and my
For him to
couple
be
of
so
boyfriends,
racist, I think
yeah,
he was mixed because
yeah,
he got like that
yeah, he
texture
was.
of
He's from
hair.
Hosky, North Carolina. That's definitely the home of the mix. Indians
Oh,
and
he's so racist like
yeah,
that
ain't
too.
it? But this is sad. And his wife that died before me.
Hmm.
And she was definitely mixed, light, bright, and definitely she looked white. She looked
Well,
almost
how
white.
he end up with you? I'm so
I don't
confused.
know, honey. He talk about I don't know. I don't know how you end up with me, honey. But honey, hallelujah. I was beautiful. I'm beautiful. Ain't no way.
No, that's not what I mean. I mean,
I'm just
because
saying he got introduced to something. He left home first of all. He left North Carolina, so I'm pretty sure that when he's in a hosky, because it's a bunch of just like in the Carolina part my dad is from, it's a bunch of family. So
right,
when you run to a bunch of family, the family look like each other. So I'm
yeah,
pretty sure they all look like each other. So he left home, and when he left
yeah,
home, he got
he
introduced to dog meat.
explored.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we talked a lot, and I
Yes.
lost track of my questions. Um,
Well, the only question you
so
actually asked me was I born gay?
I
Do you think I'm
know,
born
but
gay?
we
But
went
yeah.
into so many other
Yeah.
things while talking. Now I'm trying to figure out what we didn't touch. Um, what do you think you are now, though? I mean, I know. Okay, far as Jesus is concerned, uh, being born again, born again Christian. I have my thoughts already. I really feel like it's. I mean, I don't think you should, of course, go into a full covenant with a female because that's not how he designed it.
Right.
So if you do not desire men in that aspect like that, how do you plan on
How do I see my future?
uh so okay. There was a prophecy. We all know the prophecy. I'm supposed to have a stepdaddy somewhere. It's somewhere down this line. What is your realistically, if you don't desire men in the bed, I mean, is this just gonna be like a chore? I mean,
Well, no. No, because this is the thing. It's not that I don't like men, I just don't sexually desire men. I always have one, if you ever noticed one thing about me, there's always one guy best friend, one
Yeah.
guy friend always around.
Yeah.
There's a guy friend somewhere because I do need male energy.
Right.
I do need that. So I'm not unaware of the of a man and his presence. I'm gonna tell you, which I should have said a while back about the born gay thing and all that.
Got like
Is what
4
happened in my
minutes.
sexuality is that a man didn't grasp my mind first. This is why I just never sexually desired them.
Mm-hmm.
They went for my coochie instead of going for my brain. So it had never amounted
So
to nothing.
is it your experience with men that may have caused your lack
Might
of
be.
desire?
Might be, but still to this day, I have not yet met a man that can, well, now I got so much on top of it because I done had so much experience in my sexuality, and I think that has a lot to do with that.
Right.
But I have not met a man that was able to focus on me as a person without focusing on my coochie. My coochie would gladly come if he stimulated my mind.
It's too much.
But
Well,
that man doesn't stimulate my mind like that. I have not met one.
But this brings back my point. I do feel like if that right man, because it's there are men out here that I mean maybe few and in between.
Honey, I've been out there.
Yeah, but you've been out there in a certain way.
Yes.
So if you go out there in a new way, it is possible.
Yeah, but most men, their problem is they cannot contain themselves enough to get to where they need to get to.
But that's
with
your
me.
job. I'm about to tell you why. I'm about to tell you why.
What, girl?
I'm about to tell you why. I got to tell you why. You know, the whole keeping the cookies in the cookie jar. Everybody, even Steve Harvey with the 90-day wait thing and all of that. The longer, it's like a whole game. You thread them along for a very lengthy amount of time to get to know the person.
Yes.
And all the while they thinking I'm just doing this to get the cool, you done really trick the game up because they done sat there and fell clean in love with you after a while. Because there's no way possible to be genuine with a person and not develop feelings. Now, if you're not, of course, if you don't break down the barrier of genuineness, then you might end up with a stupid story to tell.
Right.
But if you break down the barrier of showing real true who you are to that person and vice versa, you can string that whatever you want to call this along the cat and mouse game until now they done sat there. They playing you, but you done played them, and now they in love.
Well, now all the men fall in love. That's been my friend.
Right.
Well,
that's why it always needs to. I say it needs to start at it need to start at friendship.
Yes.
If it do not start at friendship, I feel like you're doomed. To be honest with you, because you don't know each other.
This is the thing that they're unwilling to do. Because I'm very honest, and I feel like in all relationships, how many seconds?
Okay.
I feel like everyone should be honest in any relationship. Whatever type of ship you in, honesty is very important.
Right.
So I give disclaimers because I had my experiences with men, and they never changed. Men are still men. So therefore, I give disclaimers. And I tell them, hey, my sexuality is this, that, and the third, because I see you, I see the moves you're making, and I'm I'm probably not going to not be gay. So once I have made this, some men who think
that's
got
a
balls,
game too. You know that, right?
I know. Some men, they going to get some balls and think they're going to, quote unquote, change me.
Yes.
Nigga, you can't change me.
That is a real thing.
To them, it is hilarious to me.
Until
it's never been until I'm pushing 60.
Never
it
been.
Has not been a
Don't mean it's not gonna be.
Okay, well that would be that one, because that one who actually is successful in that's that one.
I believe there are some. Ray actually had a great guy for you. Like, he sat right there. I think he died. It was so crazy. I think he got in a car accident. Why are you laughing?
Because this nigga dead.
Oh my God.
He told me he was a great guy for me.
But he was. And he really wanted to hook you up with his man. He worked with him. But he was one of those, like real stand-up type guys that I feel like would have been perfect. But because it's not all the time got to be like the big, tall, strong, ones. It's more of big and strong on the inside too. I feel like.
No. Wait.
I know. I understand because I know all your people. My father is like 7 foot.
Yeah,
but
you don't have to have some. I got to see you're a man as well as know you're a man.
Well, I ain't talking about puny people.
Right, yes.
I'm just saying you can be an average person.
Yeah, you can be average, but be on the higher side of average. I'm sorry. I need to feel safe.
What in the world?
I'm sorry. I need to feel safe. My daughter, she's married to a short guy. Bless her heart. Nothing, because I love my son-in-law.
She's talking about my sister, by the way.
Right.
Okay.
But you see how you want to disassociate?
Just make sure we,
I could
clear the air.
I can do that. I don't need. I want to be able to look up. I need to be able to look up. I have a strong need for that. I need to.
Well, they could be just as punk, tall, masculine
They
punk.
could be, but they probably won't be my husband because I'm gonna have to.
I mean,
know that.
well, this guy was. Okay, I mean he was a nice height. He wasn't like tall like my dad, but he was small, like skinnier. He was a skinnier guy, but he was still not puny skinny,
Okay.
but he was small frame.
Yeah, I
In a
need to feel
muscular way
safe.
too, though. He had like a
Okay.
nice little muscle.
Yeah.
I wish. Aw, it's too late now, but it's too late now. He's dead gone. But well, Lord, let me stop saying that, because what if he ain't and I'm getting the man mixed up?
Oh,
That is
I
so
hope
bad.
this man is already gone.
Oh Lord Jesus. But okay. We are going to go ahead and end
Okay.
because we done went way over the Call of
Okay.
Duty. We probably have total different questions for the next guest. I don't know. But thank you guys for tuning in to iUnify. You just coughing. Come along. Anyway, thank you for tuning in to iUnify once again. Tune in to us on YouTube. Tune in on all other platforms as well. We are now available on all platforms. Thank you.
That's what's up.